Hi Leo, welcome to your monthly scopes. As always, keep in mind that this is just a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences at this time. If you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. So, Leo, this month of August could have some emotional deep impact on your sense of self love and on things that may still linger on your heart, uh, that are causing you some level of distress, sorrow, or heartbreak, or that really had an impact on your sense of pride and in your sense of um, appreciation or recognition for your efforts towards doing something for yourself and for your future. And you may go through a phase overall in this month of August where you may have some sorrows and some tears to be shed in terms of having to be patient and having to endure a little bit more of something you're trying to conquer, some goal, some idea, some desire you are trying to attain, but it's not yet quite the time to get it. So the harvest for your intentions and whichever you have been cultivating, it's going to come and it's going to be plenty and it's going to be filled with everything you wished upon. But you are going here through an important transformation in your being that where you still didn't yet fully cleared and have that available internal space within you to really hold that a promise of the future that you keep looking at, and you have your focus in the right place. You have your focus into things that are coming, into the success that you deserve, into the bright side of life that you do want to feel and experience again and dive into. But we cannot run towards the light when it's about running from an issue or running from a situation that causes you grief and that it causes you sorrow. And so we are afraid to go that deep, and so we tend to run and we tend to suppress and we tend to avoid whichever type of mourning process we have to go through, and whichever shifts and changes are being opened up here. And we end up creating a blockage and a delay into those things that we took initiative at and that we don't see happening. So it seems that recently you have either changed your direction, um, you have followed here something new, or you are intending to do so in terms of a new direction within your own life, in terms of taking a risk and feeling more unburdened and feeling more light in whichever this path you're trying to walk towards is. And you took an initiative, or you took a decision to go to that new place, but still it seems that you may be dealing with disappointment or sorrow because you may be thinking that there was an effort that failed, or an effort that it's taking you nowhere because you don't see the results coming right now. And actually you may experience pain and you may experience some situations that are just bringing you some emotional sadness, and you may question, well, maybe I was completely wrong. Maybe I thought I was ready. I thought I had what it takes. I thought my confidence was there. And maybe all along I was just crazy and reckless and foolish and wrong. You may be doubting yourself and your actions overall in the month of August, and this may cause you some sadness. But it's like that energy of, when a child is playing out out there, and he's so wrapped up and involved in whichever he's trying to do, and his playful behavior, that he's not aware, because he's following his heartbeat and his impulse and his desires. He's not aware of the bumps in the road. He's not aware that if he go that far, he can fall, or if he doesn't put the brakes at time, he could fall. And so I think that what happened is, somewhere along the way, and you may realize this in August, it's not about failure. It's not about you don't having what it takes. It's not about you don't having that promise of success to come and a new direction in your life actually happening. But it's like, maybe you got so involved, maybe you got so excited that, like a child, you lost sight of the warning signs telling you to, it's coming and go into the new direction, but slow down a little bit, take attention to what's around you. And maybe you may have this incident that it's like when a child falls and he has all his knees cracked and wounded, and he goes to the parent crying because his knee is a mess. But actually, the that the result of that action is bringing him a sense of recognition of what his actions, what type of consequences can come out of his actions, and are making him better at riding that bike again. He will not stop riding the bike just because just because he had that fall. And so I think that in whichever way this applies, especially when we are talking about the direction that you wanting to take with your life, especially when we're talking about you desiring to conquer a life that just feels new and it feels different and it feels that it has much more to look for, um, especially if it's relating with that or any other thing, know that this is a temporary setback, and it's happening because you're in this shift and in this transformative process where you are learning to empower yourself by the struggles, by the falls, by the broken pieces, and learning to mend yourself in other places and other ways that you would never look at and that you would never see yourself um, being able maybe to rise back that strong. So this is happening to empower you, to take you to a place of leadership of your own life, which is exactly what you may be doubting. This is the challenge, the King of Wands crossed by the Three of Swords. Well, you may be heartbroken about a specific individual. You may be heartbroken because you feel that you may be starting to judge yourself too much or criticize yourself too much, in terms of, doesn't matter what you do, it's doomed to failure. It's your pride here that could be really impacted, and your sense of willpower and your sense of ability to pave your way, because your impatience is rising. And while your impatience is rising overall in August, your lesson here is to endure and to wait, and to be okay with the timing, with the divine timing that things naturally have in order to fully bloom and give you that harvest that you desire. And yes, you are exhausted. And so overall in August, and I know that this is for the majority of you, it's your birthday and your solar return, and maybe you feel like this is a very depressive energy to go through in your solar return, when I actually feel that it's not like it's not depressive unless you allow it to be. It's something that it's about the realization of time and being okay in the present time where you are, even if it implies that the energies you are going through are the ones that are hard, are the ones that push you and take you to places that are very uncomfortable. But at least you are experiencing and feeling something that you know it has a meaning and has a purpose, and it is to make you full more fully integrated in who you are in and in this life that you do want to achieve and you do want to conquer. I believe that maybe around the third week of August, you'll put behind you whichever in the beginning of the month or the debris of the last weeks are causing you some emotional distress. I feel that as the third week enters, you will move away from the intensity of the situation that where you may just feel very weak at, or you may just suddenly feel completely burnt out, and this deep need to rest and this deep need to just be with your own wounds. And you know what, it's okay, there's healing here happening in your heart chakra, which is exactly the chakra that rules Leo. Pay attention to your heart, pay attention to spaces that need your attention in terms of either past situations that you didn't yet fully understood or forgive, or completely released yourself from, that take you into this place of grief, and that it takes you into this place of sorrow, and needing to make that um, symbolic mourning process, because in order to have this new life coming, you need to bury the old. And in my opinion, burying the old is not about just putting there somewhere and forgetting about it. It's just really saying goodbye and watching it go and watching it fade. And yes, crying in the process and being very heartbroken in the process, but just letting it go as well. Becoming aware that whichever you let go of somehow will still remain in your life in a transformed way. The impact that that situation holds in you doesn't have to define you in a negative way. It's empowering in whichever heartbreaking situation you are going through, and in whichever self-doubt you are having about your abilities to conquer this. Know that you will. You're just waiting for your time to come. And I know it seems like a never ending um, waiting process, and that your way is never going to come. It will. Breathe in and breathe out overall in August. Sit with your pain, sit with your scrapped knee, treat it, let it heal, let it let it scar properly, and then ride the bike again, confident that this time you will pay more attention, but you will not stop yourself just because you had this little incident happening. Be assured that just because just because you are having to wait upon something, it doesn't mean that you don't get to do anything. There's plenty you can do, and it starts with your heart. And it starts with taking small steps and action again into that horizon that you keep looking at and gazing and wanting and desiring. It's yours. Just keep moving, even if it means that you have maybe to go a little bit slower. Do not stop, and do not stop yourself, especially because maybe you didn't do something right, and now you're suffering the consequences from it. We all make mistakes, we all mess up. That's no excuse to stop. That's our self-sabotage system talking. So do not stop. Be with your heart, be with your wounds, do not deny them, do not run away from them. Yes, it can be heavy, but it's temporary. And as you try and as you are with them, they will naturally ease into the days, especially after the third week to the end of the month. You will feel more balanced and more assured of that new time to come. So I hope I was able to provide some insight. If you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.